Hello! I'm Han and I'll be the examiner.
I'm Ngọc and I'll be the test taker.
And today we're going to be doing
an IELTS Speaking Part 2 and 3
mock test band 9.
Let's get started!
This is your Part 2. Now you have 1 minute to prepare. Now you have 2 minutes for your Part 2. You can begin now.
A place where I would love to learn the culture of is the Vietnam Military History Museum in Hanoi, which just recently opened to the public. It generated a lot of online buzz, not only from news sites, but also from social media platforms. So I had learned about it through a TikTok video explaining the different artifacts and the rooms inside the museum. And even though I've never been there, I felt very drawn to the modern infrastructure and also the historical significance of the museum. I thought that the museum seemed very modern and up to date, and it also looked very interesting because there was a lot of background information on the walls, and so I thought that it would be a very good learning experience for me if I were to visit one day. And I think that this place is related to culture because especially in Vietnam.
Okay, now time's up. Now let's move to Part 3. Okay, how does the internet affect culture?
I think the internet has both positive and negative effects on culture. On the one hand, I believe that it can preserve culture. It can preserve the traditional culture that many young people may not know about, and it can also spread culture throughout nations and countries, such as the prevalence of K-pop. But I also think that it has a lot of negative effects as well. As for example, I believe that it can blur the lines between tradition and modernity, so a lot of cultural values may be lost.
All right. How is a culture formed?
I think a culture is formed through sharing lots of traditional values and practices and ideologies, and of course these have to be meaningful enough to be passed down from one generation to the next. I also believe that culture can be affected by some recent advancements such as technology and the rise of social media, for example.
All right. Do you think museums should be free for young people?
I think museums should definitely be free for young people. I think it would act as a source of motivation for young people to learn about their culture and traditions, especially because making museums free will make it more accessible for them. And so they will have very easy access to these sources of culture, and so there won't be any barriers for them to learn more.
Okay, now that's the end of your speaking test.
Who else should we do a speaking exam with?
Comment down below.
See you next time.
Bye.